Alright, good morning everybody. Welcome to today's Train Sim World 2 video. We are on the sand patch grade. And we will be taking Alright, good morning everybody. Welcome to today's Train Sim World 2 video. We are on So we're in the Union Pacific AC4400. Anyway, all right, got all that in there. It's probably going to be kind of quiet at first. I'm a few minutes early. I'm trying to time things a little bit better because sometimes it takes a moment for Aircast and Twitch to talk. So anyway, we're going to get in here. We're doing this 12:30 service from Cumberland Yard West to Rockwood, Maine, number 1. So let's get in here and get our locomotive set up. And we'll be on our way. If I remember correctly, on the Autorack services, we don't have the banking locomotives at the tail end. So let's get in here and get our brakes set up. That. Let's just double check to make sure we are correct in our setup. I always like to double check just to be sure that we didn't miss anything. Alright. Let's see here. Let's get our that on. It's on. Distributed power on. We need the refrigerator on. Everything else should be all set. Alright. Let's take a look out here. Oh, look at this. They gave us a lovely classic designed CSX. Hey Josh, how are you? Livery, I prefer this. Got a SD42 with an AC4400. Let's just take a look at the tail end there to see if in fact, uh-oh. Wow. Didn't even get moving and we already got booted to the title screen. Love it. Well, give me a minute. We'll get back in here and we'll get started back up again. Hold on. Not the way I wanted to start the service, but it happens. I even had rebooted my Xbox like I normally do before I do any of these live streams, just to make sure stuff like this doesn't happen. And apparently, trying to check the tail end of your consist to see, yeah, it just totally crashed on me, Josh. I don't get it. But anyway, we'll get in here and get it sorted back out. Alright. Let's get that. Oh, that's probably why, because there was some... Oh, it's the roadmap thing. Okay. Alright. I'll read that later on. I was out and about yesterday when the roadmap was released, so I haven't caught up on all the latest and greatest. Alright, let's get in here and get our weathered AC4400. And continue. What was the 12:30 service? Autorack. There we go. All right. Let's try this again. Thanks God. Memory issue fixes are coming into... Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I agree. Yeah, it was just like a complete... like, unexpected, like it just locked up, you know? Alright, so that is all correct. Get the brakes released a little bit. Let's see. This. And that. Sit back down. Let's get the brakes released all the way. Start our service here in a moment. Oh, look at that. Then they changed it on me. They still gave me an SD40, but it's in the newer. Oh, man. Alright, well, let's see if we have any. I don't think we do. Oh, we do have banking locomotives. Alright. We are going to get our radio on for banking purposes. There we go. So we are now talking to them. Alright, I think we are set to go. Let's look at our switches, make sure we are going where we need to go. There's that. There's that. That one needs to be changed, right? Oops, yep, that one, and then the other one. There we go. That one. Oh, this is normally after. Wow, it's like it took a while to get the switches set up. Because normally, maybe because we're usually on the other side here, but for whatever reason today we are over here. That's okay. And away we go. Number lights still do not work, even if you come over to Sandpatch Grade. Hoping that's going to be something to get fixed. It's not that it's a game-breaking thing or whatever, but it's just, you know, kind of, it just doesn't look good. Alright, we are underway, finally. Morning, Richard, how are you? So, in the midst of my photo project yesterday for the veteran story, which took it was a lot of kind of driving around and whatnot, but my fellow veteran, who also happens to have the first name as me, we after having lunch, we went to an abandoned roundhouse here in the area that I did not know existed. It is on. I think it was in Norfolk Southern, or it was back in the steam era. You know, like many railroads back in the day, a lot of stuff was just simply steam. But anyway, good morning, Amela. So it's still standing. Obviously, squatters have been there, skateboarders have been out there. It's not super unsafe. It's just getting there is a bit well, I wouldn't say problematic. You have to. I would just say you got to have some good good hiking boots. I had my tennis shoes, which really don't have much traction, and luckily didn't slip or anything, going there or back to the car. But really enjoyed that. Did a bit of urban exploring. Got some really great pictures. I think I took like 30. I took more pictures there than I did of the veterans. So anyway, so yeah, those are all posted on Flickr now. I can't share the veteran pictures just yet. I have to talk with the head honcho, so to speak. We did end up getting 5 people total yesterday. Some were, we were kind of talking to them on the fly and all that. So, yeah. Yeah, I really enjoyed a bit of the urban exploration stuff. It is, my fellow veteran and I were talking like, it wouldn't be a good idea to go there by yourself. If you get into trouble, you slip, fall, injure yourself. Cell phone service I didn't even pull my cell phone out. But I kind of feel like cell phone service would be a bit sketchy. The funny thing was, on the way there, there was 2 CSX, or not two Norfolk Southern SD40s who were doing some switching duties, and it so happened that the crossing gates, something wasn't triggering, so they weren't going back up. So we had the locomotive driver waved us around, just told us to go. So we did. So, and my friend was saying, well, I feel better that he told us to go. I wasn't going to go on my own accord. But yeah, it was 2 SD40s, Norfolk Southern. I should have taken a picture of it, but I didn't really know. We sat there, it seemed like forever before they finally backed up and all that. But yeah. But yeah, it was pretty cool to go check that out. We found out about another place that we may want to go to explore another time. I said I just want to get some better hiking boots or shoes, whatever, because I've had those Under Armour sneakers for quite some time now, and they're just pretty much worn out. And so anyway, I see you guys are fussing at the whole. Yeah, okay. Anyways, so yeah, so I figured. So yesterday I did the 2 quick services on LGV Mediterranean, but wanted to come in and do a service here on Sandpatch. We'll say it's like a loaner locomotive from Union Pacific. They sent us the weathered one, a little bit dirty, and that's okay. To run this Autorack service. So, anyways, well, hopefully everybody's having a good Wednesday. We had a doozy of a thunderstorm here last night. Like it. Yesterday I was downtown and the river was already pretty high, and I would imagine after last night's storm it's even higher. the number lights on. Let me put the regular lights on. I can't get the switch for something. Alright, well at least those number lights are on. I requested this. No, Josh. No, nobody's requested anything. Not that, at least not that I can recall. Not that my memory's always spot on, but no, I don't think anybody. It's not like anybody's donated or anything, which is usually when most people make requests, donations. So I figured it's gonna be kind of quiet. I know Joe's doing his the bus simulator live stream. When I got up this morning, I saw that he had a pending thing, and I looked at it. I thought it said 5:20, and then I looked again, and it was 6:20. I was like, oh, okay. So I figure it's going to be pretty quiet because most people are probably going to be over there. I know Omella's probably double. Oh, maybe you did, Josh. Honestly, I don't remember. If you did, that's all good. It's fine. I've had so much on my plate recently, it feels like that I may have forgotten that you did say that, so I apologize if I did forget. You know what? I want to put on cab light, just so that when we go through the tunnel, we already have a light on. We'll do both lights just to be safe. We're going to be speeding here in a moment. We're starting to go downhill slightly. I mean, if you did, I do appreciate that. Like I said, you may have, and I just don't recall because I've got a lot on my mind. So I didn't expect yesterday to go as well as it did. It just kind of happened that way, but it was very frustrating. There was a lot of people that we still hadn't talked to, try to get in touch with people to get their addresses and such, and it was just as I explained to the person that I'm working with on this, I said it feels like this is falling apart faster than an old barn in a tornado, which he thought I was trying to be funny, and I kind of was, but I kind of wasn't, because it felt like there's a lot of things that we could have done better as far as getting information a lot sooner so we knew where we were going. A lot of the areas, some of the areas that we were in, you have no cell phone service, so you have no GPS signal, so trying to get from one place to the next is kind of difficult in some cases. Sophia Mance. Oh, so real quick, I just was looking. So when we get to Mance, we are going to stop. Let's see, Mance is right there. This area, kind of. So we will be stopping along the way to drop off, let the two banking locomotives go. So yeah, so that's going to add a little bit of time to the service. So because not only did we start in a kind of weird location in the yard, but we also, because we have the two bankers at the tail end there, we have to let them go. So, yeah, it was pretty much from there. It's hello, Joseph. Welcome. Mr. Addy's in the house once again. Boy, I feel this is like 3-4 days in a row now. What's going on? Unbelievable. Now we're just waiting on. I was just watching Jay. Yeah, I saw that he was live. I haven't really watched him stream. Pithers, I think, was the one that kind of. Oh, go watch. Subscribe to Jason. Yada yada yada. And I've not really. I've watched him once in a blue moon, but not like on a. Anything close to regular basis. Oh, there. Why does it seem... Well, maybe because we're going slow. They seem like they're going faster than... Well, we still haven't passed the point where we can get up to 25. We're not... Yeah, we're still. Wow, that train's going very fast, but they got to stop because we're not completely on our line right now. Oh, he's gonna stop there. It looks like. Wow, we still are. This is quite a long train. Yeah, I did see him. He was on ETS2. It seems like everybody now. That's the new shiny toy in the box. ETS2. Which is fun. I mean, I enjoy watching it for a while. It does, for all intents and purposes, look a lot better than on the road. I would agree. Would I buy it? Maybe just for the multiplayer aspect to do some, play with a few folks, but otherwise it's not. I don't know. I've never really been into trucks like semis and stuff. Like I know, growing up, most every truck driver that I ever saw, as far as I can remember, always, you either had a Mack truck or a Peterbilt. Those were, I think, the two main sort of semis here in America. But yeah, the thing is, for me, and it'll probably happen with Microsoft Flight Sim when that comes out here in 6 days. Usually when something piques my interest, I spend a lot. I tend to go kind of, I don't want to say crazy, but I tend to immerse myself in understanding or trying to understand as much as I can about the subject. I did that with car racing. I've done it with. I try to do it with trains. You can spawn a 70 wagon consist with the UP stuff. It's got 3 locos at the front and 1 at the back. It takes a bit juice to get the damn thing moving. Oh wow, I didn't know that. Thank you, Josh, for saying that. I had no idea, to be honest. So yeah, I am always a bit I I can be a bit leery sometimes because once I get interested in something, I tend to go a bit overboard with it. And then it just, after a while, it's like, okay, this is worn out its, shininess, so to speak. But I mean, I do appreciate the fact that there's people who enjoy the truck simulation games. I don't mind watching it for a while, but it's not. I mean, I don't have a wheel and everything, so it would be very difficult to even, play otherwise, I think. And to be fair, I've considered that it's far easier for me to do a put together a PC for the prices that are still being charged for the PS5. Why is this? Hold on a second, folks. The stream might get interrupted for just a second. Hold on. Okay. But yeah, I mean, I feel like I'd have a better shot at putting together a PC versus tracking down on a PS5. I kind of feel at this point, I was hopeful that by the end of the year, maybe the prices of the PS5 would come down to a bit more normal sort of level. I'm beginning to have my doubts about that. So I think a PC is going to be a much better option. But again, the problem I have is that you can get you have to pretty much buy, like if I wanted to run this game on PC, I'm 99.9% positive I would have to buy it all over again because it's a different platform. I'd have to buy everything through Steam. If Steam was the way of buying everything on Xbox, for instance, and I had a Steam account on Xbox and all that kind of stuff, then it'd be a different story, I think. But that's all added cost, and I talked about that as well with whether I bought a PS4 or a PS5. If I want to buy Farm Sim, I play Farm Sim, for instance, I'd have to buy the game all over again. And that's all, even if it's on sale, that stuff still adds up. Everybody that I see playing Microsoft Flight Sim so far, everybody's on PC. Right? I don't know really what to expect, and we won't know for 6 more days what it's going to look like on the Xbox, what the expectations are. So, but there seems to be, of course, there's going to be more on the PC version. And what I've seen too is that it's not a it's not just like this game where you just hop in and set up your locomotive and away you go. There's a lot of pre-planning involved and all that. Like there is in real life. The pilot just doesn't get into the cockpit and just push back from the gate and off you go. There's a lot of things that have to take place. So yeah. So I think if I'm going to try my best on here on the Xbox. I don't know what to expect, when it does come out. Yeah, I don't know. But part of it too is it's a time issue. You know, if I put aside the money and I buy a PC, and you know, because you could buy just the PC itself, but you still got to get a keyboard, you still got to get a monitor, you know, all that stuff starts to add up as well. At the end of the day, am I going to have the time to do this kind of stuff as well? You know, and is it worth, you know, like, I may get a, you know, like my I brought this up the other day, the scenario I did on Cane Creek. It's got almost 200 views. Still got only 7 likes. Like, it's not, but I don't get, you know, like, I have a few people that come in, you know, maybe 5, 6 tops. But I don't, you know, and that's fine. I'm not expecting to be famous or anything or whatever. But, you know, it's, is it worth the effort? And sometimes it feels like it's not, because what I'm finding is, and I'm not dissing on anybody or whatever, I'm starting to, my streams are starting to conflict with everybody else's. Well, I shouldn't say everybody. It's you know, like today it's conflicting with Joe, right? And you know, and I'm like I said, I'm not like taking a jab at him or anything. It's just the way it's worked out, you know. So it's either, you know, when I saw that, I could have said, well, I'm going to back out. But I don't, you know, but the other thing too is, I don't know how long he's going to go for on the bus. Probably only an hour, maybe. I don't know. But famous Rob getting a ride on the luxurious pink caboose. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know, you know, and that's part of the, I think that's the other issue too, is you know, if you're conflicting with other streamers, not like in a negative way, but if your stream is also going on at the same time, it's kind of hard to build up that audience as well. But I know, like, my streams aren't, you know, like, even though I have 50 subscribers, I know deep down I'm not going to have 50 people watching at any given moment. Like I said, I'm probably going to get 5 or 6 tops, and that's it. But I don't know. It's either I stick to my schedule, or I get up super early in the morning and just do my video, and then people can watch it later on at their convenience. You know, because it was very difficult to do live, you know, to do a stream on Twitch, put it on YouTube as a premiere, and then because then people expected I was going to be in the premiere, in the chat. No, I was in the chat when I live streamed on Twitch. You know. So I don't know. But we'll see how it goes. But, you know, at the same time, as much as I mean, I'd love to get a PC, and it would cost thousands of dollars to get a good, you know, PC together. Would need at least 2 screens so that I could watch my feed, basically, my chat feed. While playing the game. But I don't know. I mean, I would have to come into some money very quickly because not only would I need all that, but I would need all the control stuff as well. That's not cheap. Plus, I would definitely need a different computer desk. I mean, I don't really have a computer desk. I use a small table as my computer desk, and there's really not a lot of room on there. But I really don't always have the space for that either. So, anyway, 6.5 miles to Hinman. We know the story. We just passed there, and then we take the hard left. Well, it's not really a hard left. A sweeping left turn there, and start making our way up the hills. And then we will be stopping briefly to let our banking locomotives go. And then we'll be on our way to Rockwood, Maine, number 1. So, anyways, do appreciate the few people who've come in, given the stream a thumbs up already. It all does help out. What it helps out, I have no idea, to be honest. But that seems to be the standard story. On YouTube, give us a thumbs up. Please do subscribe. It all helps out. But I can't tell you what it helps. I don't know. No, I think I know. It's it helps suggestions as well for other YouTubers that may provide this similar content. Let's see what else. So yeah, it's an algorithm thing. That's what it is. So, Mick, welcome. How are you, sir? Welcome to the stream. Nice to see you here. Did you get my message on the DM there, Mick? I sent you one last night. You might have already been fast asleep there. It was a little after midnight your time, I think. Almost 12:30. So, yeah. So we're taking the Union Pacific AC4400 weathered condition. We're here on the Sand Patch Grade. I'm sure, well, it's in the description, but yes, it is. Okay, cool, Mick. So we're on our way to Rockwood, Maine, number 1, but we're stopping off in Mance, or if I remember correctly, the stopping point. I'm trying to remember where we stopped at before. Was it here, or I think it was, or did it go past? Let's see. Was it up here somewhere? Maybe it's like up here somewhere. I forget. It's either there or there. to we have 2 locomotives at the tail end there to help out with the our service today. I dare not. I could just kind of fly back there with just, but because when we were earlier on, we were all set to go. I went to go look to see, push the button in kind of to transport myself back to the tail end of the consist, and then the game froze up and booted me all the way back out. So we're not going to do that. We don't need the game to crash on us again. So I can't say for sure what we'll know when we get to Mance what kind of locomotive power we had at the tail end. But a nice, kind of cloudy day. Not too major here on the sand patch grade. Probably could have done rain because it's probably been raining up there pretty heavily. Nah. A nice kind of sunny day here. Green trees. Lots of greenery. But I do appreciate everybody coming in and hanging out. Come and go as you please. As I always like to say, kind of like an airline pilot. We know you have other viewing options when it comes to your streaming viewing pleasures. We do appreciate you coming in and hanging out here for however long you feel you want to. Welcome to the Sand Patch Grade. Practicing my airline voice, I guess. All right. We are nearing Hindman. Everybody prepare for the G-forces as we make that left turn. It's going to be a doozy. Okay, here it comes. Just under a mile to Hinman. And thus we begin the long journey up the hill. It shouldn't be too bad because we do have some help at the back end there. We're moving along at feels like we're doing a pretty good clip here. We are sorting out barbecue food and other stuff for my daughter's birthday on Monday. Oh, nice, Mick. Hopefully could be a nice day of weather, and you have your friends and family over for that celebration. I'm at the point now in my life I don't plan anything for my birthday. It's just, after a while, it's just become another day. You know, so I always, like, I always had this notion, when you turn 40, you have a big party and, stuff like that. I was in Kuwait waiting to go to Iraq when I turned 40. And, I got up saying happy birthday to myself after I got out of the shower and walked over to the little dining facility, had breakfast with 2 powdered donuts. Local holding on for life in my seat. Okay. Okay, Josh. What was I saying? So yeah, that was it. That was my 40th birthday. We got back from Iraq. 3 days later was my birthday. Nobody said jack shit. So, after a while, it just, my birthday's never been a big deal. And so I don't even, even growing up, some kids that I knew, they always have a big blowout party, and not me. So, yeah. But, I do try to, when it's somebody's birthday, I try to wish them a happy birthday. Yeah. Yeah. But, hopefully your daughter appreciates that she has parents who are willing to do something like that. Alright, so Mance is there, so it says we're stop at indicated location. So I know I've done it before, but I kind of feel like it's going to be somewhere along there, maybe? But no, I think we're stopping somewhere along here. But we'll see, once we get past Mance. Now, always remember that 11 miles to Mance, that's a straight line distance. That's not to indicate, because it seems it's more than 11 miles the way that we zigzag, kind of. We go away from our destination before we cut back towards it. So always remember, I think that's just something that it threw me off the first time I played this route. Like, 11 miles, that won't take long to get there. And it took forever, and I'm just like, but it was only 11 miles, and even though we're traveling 25 miles an hour, it shouldn't have taken that long to get there. But no, that's straight line distance, as best as I can figure it. So don't let it fool you. Oh, we've got 5 lights now. Somebody left us a light. We were at 4. They'll greatly appreciate it. I'm surprised, unless Glenn's busy, I'm surprised he hasn't popped in and said hello. Well, we were a little bit over 25 there. Oops, a daisy. Yeah, she loves her barbecue and the other food laid out. And her birthday is always in the school holidays. Oh, nice. Yeah, I was looking at, I saw an email yesterday, briefly, when we were out and about, and they have, and I'm sure you guys can get them there in the UK, but there's a couple DVDs out about Union Pacific. There was one specifically about the big boy, and the one that they basically brought back to life, the 41, I think was the number, that I think a couple people were talking about. No, not yet, Mick. It's still a bit ahead of us. So it's sometime in the near future. But yeah, I've just come to accept, and people that are, know me on Facebook, I get, a lot of people will give me birthday wishes and stuff, but it really isn't the same as a, party and stuff like that. The one gal that I was dating when I moved up here, we went out for my birthday, and it was like her family kind of inserted themselves into my day. We were near a place that there's apparently this really great cookie store, they make fresh cookies and stuff, and they're like, oh, while you're there, and I'm just like, it's supposed to be my day? What the heck? But, so, yeah, I don't, it doesn't really matter to me that much. It's just, it's another day. Even when I was working at the community college, not a word, nothing. So, even though, my boss has access to that sort of information, So, yeah. So, yeah, I don't expect anything anymore. So, that way I'm not disappointed when nothing happens. I know that sounds sad, but that's just the reality of it. I don't even know what day of the week my birthday is on this year, to be honest. Oh. That figures. It's on a Wednesday, of course. It'd have to be on a Wednesday. Yeah, I really don't have anything planned. Part of it is who just knows what's going to happen between now and then. So, yeah. I wonder if I can get a picture. Let's see if it works this time. Hey, it uploaded successfully, finally. You have to DM me, you know. I got to know now. It's okay, Vic. Yeah, I'll eventually. You know, it's okay. Honestly, I know lots of people will want to try to do something special or what they're able to do or whatever, and it's all good. That's something that I've had to struggle with and I've had to overcome myself, is the fact that it's not, you know, the situation is what it is, and so, you know, the only thing I know I can count on pretty much for right now is that my mom will call me on my birthday. That's about it. That's a certainty, unless something happens, you know, fingers crossed, knock on fake wood. You know, unless something happens to her between now and my birthday, but I know that's usually what you know, that's a certainty, is my mom will call me, but, you know, yeah. Hello, you're not alive. Well, hello, Ryan. Welcome. I'm guessing you're on your lunch break, so you decided to pop in and say hello. Hopefully you're well. I think for tomorrow's live stream, so what are the mastery things we have to, do a scenario with the level 3 or higher difficulty setting on the scenario. So we're going to knock out I've already done one off stream. We're going to do number 2 tomorrow. Get that knocked out for our mastery on Cane Creek. Oh, you're not working today. Oh, okay. Nice. Well, hopefully you're having a nice, relaxing day off. Quite a bit of load of coal here. So I'll show you which one we're doing tomorrow before we end the stream. The same time as usual. Hey, I'm here now to bug you for years to come like a long-lost brother from another mother. I appreciate that. Maybe the lights are. It's hard to tell because it just doesn't seem like. If you look at how, like CSX, I think even on their AC4400, I know this lights up. This doesn't seem like the lights are on. And we can't really tell in the dark because we can't be outside the locomotive in a tunnel, for instance. Alright, slowly making our way to Mance. 7.3 miles as the train flies. Oh. just over an hour now. They say this takes 95 minutes to do. So there's no way we are going to get... I'm going to pop in the cab here. Hey, look, we have a cab. Remember what this looks like? I was going to say. Yeah, there's no way we're going to make it to Rockwood, Maine in like 30 minutes. 30, 35 minutes. So, I'm not sure. And Amela, if you're here still, I think you are. Maybe you could ask, if you feel so bold to do so, how does Dovetail Games figure that sort of, how do they make that, say that the service should take 95 minutes? The question is, did you have a good breakfast for this? No, I had 2 Pop-Tarts. Well, I had Pop-Tarts this morning, and I was working on my coffee. So, yeah, I mean, it's okay. I'm going to probably make something else here later on after this is done. This will probably be 8 something by the time we get this over with. So I think I've got some eggs in the fridge still. Might make some eggs for breakfast. But yeah, Mel, if you could find out if they're willing to tell you, how do they determine the time, that they figure the service is going to take 95 minutes? Because there's no way that you could do a service on Sandpatch Grade in an hour and a half, even without stopping to let off the banking locomotives. If you were doing, another service, like we've done intermodal services, we don't have bankers at the tail end, I don't think. So we just drive straight through. I've got a chocolate cookie. Oh. Yeah, I got up this morning, Nick. I woke up at 4 and dozed back off for a while. Got up about 5:45. Got the coffee started, and then got on the Division 2 for a moment just to check some stuff, and then popped over here to get things set up. So yeah, I was eating my Pop-Tarts and having my coffee while I was on Division 2 for a short time. So I haven't really had a full breakfast yet, but I think I'm going to make some eggs eventually for breakfast. But yeah, I'd be curious to know if I think Amella's still here. I think she's probably pulling double duty. She's probably in Joe's stream as well as mine. But yeah, I'd just be kind of curious to see how that works. How did they come up with that time? And is it a reasonable expectation? I kind of feel like it's not. So I don't know if they just put that up there just so that not that I want to say that they've been misleading, but so if you look and this route's pretty long, right? Oh, I can do a service in an hour and a half. That's not a big deal, right? That's in a reasonable, most people can say, oh yeah, I can do an hour and a half. That's not a big deal. But it is a bit misleading because we know that the services take more than an hour and a half to do. Because, once you reach a certain point on the route, especially after we pass Mance, we're going to start heading downhill, and you have to keep. Rob, I think she ran for Boston on the NEC. Oh, okay. Yeah, I see, Josh. I still haven't read I have no idea what the roadmap even said from yesterday. I meant to look it up when I got home, and I just totally spaced on it. Because I was smoked by the time I got home. Especially from our little urban exploration adventure that was not, it was kind of just an unplanned thing. So... Three locomotives there, taking that coal to Cumberland. So yeah, I don't know really what the latest and greatest is when it comes to that. But I'm curious to see. I mean, I guess I could look. I mean, we're just kind of cruising along. Let me pull up the. That's definitely not it. Oh, did I have it? Nope. I do not have my Dovetail Games. Oh, Ducky Nader, new subscriber on YouTube. Well, thank you, Ducky. I thought I had Dovetail Games website up. Alright. I don't know why I did that. There was no roadmap yesterday. Roadmap was last week. Oh, I thought they gave an update on the roadmap. The rush hour roadmap is what I'm talking about. I thought they were doing another one the other day. Oh. Wow. Well, don't I feel like a fool? I thought for sure that... Yeah. See, that's what happens when you get old. You start to... Can't remember the days correctly. I thought we were getting another one because they... Yeah. Okay. Never mind. Well, there was something that was posted when I came back to the game, and I think it was rush hour specific, but I don't know. I'll have to check it out. So, but anyways, I thought there was something that was put out. Maybe I swore it was rush hour related, but I could be wrong. Yeah, next week. Okay. Let me just see. Maybe it's, keep an eye on the rush hour. I think maybe it was an article about rush hour that was put out. No? News? Maybe it's under news. Top story, summer sale. Okay, rush hour creating immersion. Okay, that's what it was. It was an article. That's what it was. Okay, I'll have to read that then. That's what it was. It was an article, not a actual roadmap sort of thing. .1 miles as the train flies. Oh, see, it went 5152. Because we are kind of making our way back towards Mance now officially as we kind of zigzagged seemingly away from it, towards it, but this is a little bit away, slightly. So once we come off of this high-speed turn here, There it went right back to 5.1 miles. So, if the assumptions and guesses and whatnot are true, and we should see quite possibly the road or rush hour. See, I'm so stuck on roadmap, I can't even speak straight. If we do see rush hour in August, as the expectations are, so if we have, let's see, 27th roadmap, that would mean we would have a possibility, let's look at the calendar, so 3rd, so the earliest we could see it maybe is the 12th, the latest is the 26th, if we're getting an August time, based on how they've done their releases before. So that's the roadmap was last week, just the roadmap. Oh yeah, okay. I thought I was reading something new. I better start reading old news in the feed. Anyway, so yeah, earliest would be the 12th. Latest would be 26, I said. Yeah. So those, based on their previous release dates and all that, in conjunction with roadmap information. So now if it's early in August, if it is the 12th, I think I'm going to wait to the 1st of September to buy it. If only because, and I'm not in any way digging at Dovetail Games. Okay? Not. I just have a bad feeling in the pit of my stomach, for lack of a better term, that we're going to have it's going to be buggy. Just to be quite frank, it's going to be buggy. How buggy it's going to be is anybody's guess. But if it is released on the 12th, I'm going to take a wait and see approach. And I'm going to watch streamers, do my homework. If it appears that there aren't any bugs, or it's a few, but they're not like a game breaking, or, well, I don't want to say game breaking, because people get a little touchy about that. Well, good. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, Josh. That's your prerogative. I normally, I kind of feel, based on recent history, and again, like I said, I'm not trying to speak ill of Dovetail Games, and I do appreciate everything that they're trying to do, given the pandemic and everything. It's just that I feel more comfortable waiting, even if it's a week. I'd rather see some gameplay, get a sense that it feels stable and all that. Now, part of that too is, like you brought up earlier, Josh, that there are those core memory issues are supposed to be coming out. I don't know that it's going to be released with Rush Hour. I hope it is, but there's no telling for sure. So that's going to do a lot for the game, I think. It's going to go pretty far. It'll be faster for you, Rob. I'll buy it straight away and DM you if it's good. Or, I mean, you know, the thing is that I kind of feel that it's hard to judge sometimes because most of the streamers we know play on PlayStation, so there may be bugs specifically on the Xbox, right? I know they try to do gameplay on as many platforms as possible in the lead up to the release, but sometimes those are on developer systems. So if the game does crash, it doesn't necessarily indicate that there's a problem overall in the game, you know. So I don't know. I'm a bit leery. And I think it's okay to you know, because it's 3 routes all at once. It's not like we're getting one and then, you know, as far as I can tell, all 3 are being released at the same time. And that, I think, can lead to some things that we may not, that can't be foreseen. You know, I'm sure they're going to test everything as much as possible. Oh, what is it? Tomorrow we do get an announcement tomorrow. So maybe, I mean, we don't know what that's going to be either. It could be rush hour related. It could be finally some news about the 313, which has taken way longer than I think anybody expected, because we were talking about this for months now. The 313. There's still other locomotives that are in development. We haven't heard about those. Those are on the roadmap list as well. If you want the 3 routes, you pay the price. Well, see, stuff like AI improvements, will come regardless of what, if you buy rush hour or not. Yeah, that's true. So you're not paying for the updates. You've never paid for any fixes to the game. You only pay for new content. Whereas other games, we know, it's the opposite. If you want the new improved version, you got to pay for it, plus the DLC. You know. So yeah. But they try to hide it as, oh, we got new content. Oh, but then, you know, like in the small print, oh, by the way, we're updating the game and it's supposed to be fixed, and, you know, all this stuff. Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see what happens, but yeah, I'm a bit leery, and you know, hopefully I'm proven wrong. Hopefully it's a successful launch, and there's minimal issues. I mean, I know there's going to be issues. I don't think you can avoid. It's not going to be 100% perfect upon release. I just, you know, you can take all the precautions you want, but there's going to be things that I think you can't foresee happening. Oops. How did I end up through the roof of the train there? But yeah, we'll see how it goes. But, you know, I was telling my fellow veteran friend who was he basically drove me around yesterday to all these meetings, and, you know, with these other veterans for this project. I was telling him about the game, and I said, yeah, it's great because there's so much to do in the game. There's a lot of, you know, but, you know, there's limitations. Like, we don't have Norfolk Southern stuff, for instance. You know, we don't have, and maybe we will eventually. I think maybe in the PC they do. I don't know. In Train Sim World 2021, maybe there's Norfolk Southern services, or people take a CSX SD40 and make a Norfolk Southern livery for it. And that's one of the things that does kind of pique my interest about getting the game on PC, because people do a lot of creative work and they create all these really nice liveries, but we can't we don't have the same livery editor. We don't have the ability to share liveries on console. Whereas like on Forza, you had, if you were looking, you could download a livery for your car. Because some people, they're racers at heart, and they go in, they create a livery for a racing team that's in real life, and so I think most people would like to be able to pay, update an AC4400 and put a BNSF logo on there, but of course that's a very problematic thing, because it's copyrighted information as well. But I don't know, there's a lot of, who knows. But anyway, we're about a mile out from Mance. We're making our way there the only way we know how. So greatly appreciate everybody hanging out. I know Sandpatch Gray isn't the most exciting route in the game, especially considering that we were on the very fast LGV Mediterranean yesterday. This feels like snail's pace compared to that, but that's okay. But we'll finish up some freight action tomorrow with our trip on Cane Creek. We'll look at that scenario real quick before we end the stream, just as a reminder. One day, eventually, I would like to get back on the Arosa line. Maybe not do a scenario, just do a passenger service. I don't know. I've not heard anything back from Rivets as far as the information I gave them months ago. I've not had any update. There's not been any sort of information from them as far as patches, if they're, I don't know. But we may give that one. Matter of fact, let's see, tomorrow's Thursday, Friday. Maybe we'll try to do a service on Arosa line on Friday. Yeah, we'll give that a shot. We'll try to we're not going to do scenarios because those seem to be the ones that have the most problems, but we'll try a passenger service. On the Arosa line on Friday. Alright, there's Mance. Our stop location is 3.1 miles away, which puts us right there. I did kind of guess that one. It was hard to remember. It was either one or the other. Either we were going to stop there, or we were going to go past that and stop up here somewhere. But So we're gonna head over there, let our bankers go, and then we'll continue on. We're near the stream's been going for 88 minutes. We didn't start right away. We did have to restart the game because it crashed on us when we tried to go to the tail end of the consist to check out our two locos at the back. So what I am going to do, I think, is I'm just going to kind of make my way towards the tail end of the consist this way. Quite a long train. Only problem is going to be with that. Yeah, I better not. I better stay up front because I don't want to miss my stop marker, and then there's a red right there, and then it totally goofs up at the... Yeah, let's just stay up here for right now. I'm very leery of doing the transporting myself back there like I normally would, because I don't want the game to crash again. So I mean, this thing is 54 cars long. That's like a mile long. Wow. Alright. Well, I kind of feel like my engineer's going to have to stretch his legs. I think we're going to run back on foot just to be safe. That's going to take a bit of time, I know, but I don't want to take any chances that the game's going to crash again. So, yeah, we'll do that. Oh, 6 minutes to 8. Which is, let's see, it's almost 1 o'clock in the afternoon there in the UK. Time flies when you're having fun, I suppose. So I think we have a tunnel. Yep, there's a tunnel coming up here. I think it's usually past this tunnel, that's when we start to see the change to the downhill section of the route. So it should be stop here. Oh, let's just take a look at our schedule. Yep, then go via Salisbury, and then we're into Rockwood, Maine, #1. Salisbury should be... That via location is somewhere in here, if I remember correctly. And then Rockwood, Maine, we're going to stop right there. Now, it looks like, because last time I was on this route, we had the marker, the red light and everything changed location, and we were stopping somewhere a little bit different. I don't know what to expect with that. If we're going to have... I think we got sufficient lighting. I'm going to let it coast. There's the end of the tunnel way down yonder. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. Wow, didn't take much to dump off a lot of speed there. Watch, now it says we have in 9/10 of a mile we have a 35-mile-an-hour limit. Oh, you're saying thanks, Josh. I appreciate that. Yeah, the chat's kind of died out, but that's okay. So the funny thing is going to be, I think, is that 35. We'll get there, and then it's going to go right back down to 30 or something. A short distance past that. That's how it works, apparently. Alright, we're almost there. 1.1 miles. There we go. So we gotta go down, then up here. Stop. Oh, we should have another train passing us here in a moment. We're up to 30 now. Like, I think a lot of people are just hanging out. You know, I'm kind of in the background, so to speak, I guess. I would venture to think that Joe is not live anymore. Did he finally finish up on the bus? Like, I don't know. It's hard to tell sometimes how long he's going to go for. Usually I know it's an hour for sure, but... Oh, intermodal service. Interesting that they're not... I still kind of... It kind of puzzles me sometimes that they don't have any... Especially the climb up the hill here to the summit, they don't have any kind of banking locomotives at the back to help out. All right. Yep. Train is still in the tunnel, so I can't pop back outside. And that was what the article was about, was immersion, which, you know, is going to give you more viewing options. So, yeah. I don't know if we're going to have... It'll probably be close to the time we get to the... Look at it, it's still in the tunnel. Still got a bit to go. Alright, coming up on our stop point. So there is a red. That's our stop point. So the red is right... Where's that red showing? I don't see a signal. Where are we at on the tunnel here? Alright, the locomotives are just coming out of the tunnel now. Alright, now we should be... There we go. Yeah, we are on the downhill slope now. I'm in the garden with you, Rob. Okay. I appreciate that, Mick. Hopefully it's a nice day in the garden. Gardening has never been one of my strong suits. Never liked it. Never been one of my things. get the power brake on here. We're going to go past our stop point just a smidge. And then some. As long as we don't run that red, we're okay. Come on, brakes. Kick in, kick in. Anytime you're ready. Wow, we are not getting... Wow, the brakes just did not want to slow down there for... It's like we started to speed back up again. Okay. 7/10 of a mile. We're going to run back there. I'm not taking any chances. Let our engineer stretch his legs. Now, I kind of feel, if I'm not mistaken, wouldn't the second operator be the one to go back there and release the brakes? Or wouldn't there be like a, because so that way the operator is at the controls just to make sure nothing unsafe happens? Yeah, I'm not taking any chances, Josh. After what happened at the very beginning, I'm not very comfortable with doing the way we would normally do it. I kind of feel like there would be at least two, maybe three people in the cab there, and one person would run back while the operator would stay at the controls to make sure that the train doesn't move while all that happens. So yeah, it's turned into a fitness stream. Yeah, well, it's been the engineer's been cooped up in the seat there for a bit. No, I don't want to give up control. See, then you have stuff like that happen. Oh my Lord. If I felt more comfortable that the game wasn't going to crash on me again, I would have just transported back there, but I can't. I'm not. Yeah, well, oh yeah, because it's going to go back to Cumberland, because that is a service you can do. Take the helper locomotives back to Cumberland. So I would think so, that they would have popped the brakes automatically for us. Or not the brakes, but they would have disconnected themselves, because they would have talked over the radio, like, hey, we're going to disconnect and you guys can be on your way. We'll call you when everything's disconnected. Because all the, hoses, the brake stuff, and everything else, all those couplings got to be undone on top of the actual, connection. So, yeah. Better to be safe than sorry. So let's see, what did we have back here real quick before they disappear? We have a dash or SD40. Looks like 2 SD40s at the tail end. Yep, a lot of SD40 action here today. All right, let's uncouple that. Okay. No, I do not want to give up. All right, that's so 5.7 to Salisbury. You know what? Oh, I can't do that way. So there are, yep, there they go. So we'll run back to the locomotive here. Oh, I got 6 likes. Well, thank you all for the likes. Appreciate it. Oh, Pithers is here. Hello, good afternoon, Pithers. I just was looking, we're, about halfway through the service to Rockwood, Maine, so we got a little bit of trip to Salisbury and then Rockwood, Maine, and then we're done. So let's just take a look real quick. So there's our via point right there for Salisbury. It's not very, it doesn't seem like it takes long to, excuse me, I'm okay, Pithers. Hope you're well. Had quite a long day yesterday with the Veterans Project thing. My fellow veteran did the driving and I just did the photos, and we did, it was nice visiting with some different veterans. All of whom I've never met before. Yeah. There was one fellow in particular, I think, Pithers, you would have really enjoyed talking with him. He lives on a farm, basically grew up there his entire life, and he's got an old International tractor. If you're using immersion controls, yeah, I'm not, well, that's what I was trying to do when the incident happened earlier, Josh, when the game crashed on me. So I would have done that. Normally that's what I do, but when that happened, I don't feel 100% sure that it wouldn't crash again. But anyway, yeah, so he's got this little red International tractor that he is fixing up here and there. He says, yeah, I don't have a car, but I drive the tractor to town. He's got little magnetic blinker signals that he throws on there when he needs to. So it doesn't go fast. I just, go there and get my stuff and come right back. But, yeah, he's got chickens as well. Free range. He lets them roam around the yard and all that. Yeah. So, yeah, some interesting people. Oh, I think I hear my locomotive still. We should be almost there. Yep. We let the power brake on. I did that just to make sure nothing crazy happens. All right, we're back at the front of the train finally. Okay, here we go. Let's get the door shut. Let's get in our seat. Let's get that released. Let's get this back to, wow, it didn't even, wow, this thing's like ready to roll. Yeah, hey Muzza, how are you? Yeah, it's an old, now the way he explained it was that the red paint was like that wasn't the norm. When International sold their tractors, they were all in a yellow colored, was how they sold those. So yeah, that was kind of he said the red paint was a kind of a special thing or whatever. But yeah, he was a really interesting fellow to talk to. Like in retrospect, oh look, still doing this road work. You'd think by now, one of these days we're going to come out here and this is going to be all back open again. I keep thinking that. So we were trying to spend only 30 minutes with each veteran, and sometimes that's easier said than done because you just start talking with them. I'm good, Meza. I hope you're well. Oh, you're doing good. That's good. Glad to hear that, Meza. What was I saying? So yeah, I would. There's, it would have been nice to spend quite a while with each veteran, just talking with them. But that's not always practical. And so certainly by the end, it was kind of like, all right, let's just get the pictures and be done, kind of thing. I think the urban exploration that I did, it took a lot more out of me than anything. Not that, and I was like, wow, this is quite the adventure. And he said, oh, I wasn't complaining or anything. It was just, I wasn't expecting to go gallivanting up these steep hills, all of which the mud is still fairly soft from the rain. I would imagine it's even more so now because we had that crazy thunderstorm last night here. So, yeah. It was something else, but yeah, I was pretty tired. So by the time we met our last veteran for the day, it was like, we were talking, but it was also kind of like I'm ready to wrap this up and go home. I took a shower because I'd been in in these bushes and there's no telling. I'm pretty positive I didn't have any ticks on me or anything, so that's good. Yeah, I was pretty smoked. I went to bed kind of early last night, so yeah, it was something else. So yeah, but yeah, really, I didn't expect when he told me about it. I was like, okay, well, let's go find it, and because it had been a while since he'd been there, and so when we found this old roundhouse, it took a while to get there because the path that he'd taken in the past was overgrown already. Part of the building was damaged from when we had that 4 feet of snow earlier in the year. So, and now he's like, this is the first, he's from the New York area. He's from New York originally, not the city, but he said this is the most rain that he can remember the area getting in quite some time. An inch of rain in a very short amount of time. So yeah, kind of crazy. So I'm really kind of interested to see. Tomorrow I got an appointment at 1 o'clock in the afternoon downtown. I'm kind of interested to see how the river looks tomorrow, especially if it's kind of drizzled a little bit now. But I think we're getting another storm later today as well. So yeah. All right, making our way to Salisbury steak and Rockwood fries. That's what you have for lunch on the Sandpatch grade. Isn't that right, Josh? Salisbury steak and Rockwood fries. Ooh, I think I slept a little wrong last night. My back's a little sore. I was recounting the story. There's pictures, like everything else. There's a lot of pictures on my Flickr. There's a old state mental hospital in Georgia that I visited once before. A woman I was dating there in the Savannah area, she took me up there once, and then I went again on my own, and it was difficult because so they had like a rental, I don't want to say rent-a-cop, but they have a private security firm that patrols the area, right? And they I drove up there, and of course it would be great to get inside those buildings they're essentially falling apart. Of course, it's not safe to do so for various reasons. One, there's a lot of mold there, and if you don't have some kind of respirator, anything that would block that mold, you could easily breathe it in and you get sick. And then you would also have the structure itself is not stable, sort of thing. So anyway, I was telling my fellow veteran, whose name also happens to be Robert, I was telling him that I went up there to take these pictures, and as soon as I started walking around the property, that's when the security patrol showed up, and I went over there. I wasn't rude or anything. I told the security person in the car, it was a female officer, I said, hey, I'm just here to take some pictures. I'm not going to try to bust into the building or whatever. I just want to let you know. And she was like, well, just be, you're not supposed to be anywhere near the building. You're technically trespassing. And I said, well, I'm watching my footing. I'm keeping an eye on the ground. If I get the sense that it's not stable, I back off immediately, whatever. I did walk up to some of the windows to put my camera up to the window to take some pictures. Whether the actual window pane was there or not, a lot of it was already broken out, so I would just stick my camera up there. It was above my head, but I could reach up with my camera and take a picture of the inside. Oh, she was starting to freak out with me, and I said, I'm not trying to break any rules or anything here. I'm just trying to take the pictures. That's it. I'm not trying to get inside the building, okay? I had to keep reassuring her, and every step of the way it was like, you're trespassing. I'm just like, after a while, I just was like, you know what? I think I've got what I want. And away I went, got back in my car and left, because I was just like, I feel like at some point she's just going to be like, that's it, I'm just going to arrest you, or call Georgia police, or like sheriff's department, whoever, and they're going to arrest you for trespassing and yada 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 yada. But it's urban exploration, I've always kind of been fascinated by it, but people aren't always going to tell you how to, there's their secrets, their tricks of getting into these properties, because they are essentially, you are breaking and entering, you are trespassing, and technically yesterday we were trespassing when we went down to that roundhouse. And as we were walking back to the car, I remarked to my fellow veteran that, I said, wouldn't it be interesting that we get by the car, and there's a New York State trooper sitting right there ready to question us. And he's like, I hope not. But no, there wasn't. But it's there's always those possibilities, because we were, in fact, we were breaking, we were trespassing. But I won't geotag it, because I don't want people to go there, and because there's lots of ways you could slip and fall and bust yourself wide open. And if you're by yourself, especially, you never know. You could tell that somebody had been there recently, like they had a fire there inside they found a bunch of old wood and they were burning it. So yeah, I wouldn't go by myself there, because you never know what you may come across. You could find some very violent people, people on serious drugs, and who aren't gonna who are going to be very unsafe with you. So but it was interesting. I really enjoyed it, because I do enjoy that sort of thing, but it's a bit worrying, because if you go somewhere and it appears to be safe, it may not be. And so we lucked out, but I was pretty tired last night when I went to bed. But then it was even harder to get to sleep, because we had all the thunder and lightning going on. It took a while for that storm to pass through. Excuse me. So, oh, Amella's back. I didn't even know you left, Amella. So you didn't even say BRB. You don't get, well, technically you don't get a welcome back, because you didn't say BRB. That's how that works. All this time I was like asking you a question. I thought you were still here. So now that you're back, Amilla, if maybe you can ask this question, and if you can't, or whatever, it's fine. But I'm curious to know, like this, when we started the service, it said it's going to take 95 minutes. Now, it technically takes about 95 minutes to get from Cumberland to Mance, right? And then we have to, let off our 2 banking locomotives. So how do they figure that time? That's what I'm kind of. Where did they come up with the 95 minutes? Because I'm guessing that's what they're saying. That's how long the service takes to do, which isn't true. Because here we are, we're at 1:59. So even if we take 10 minutes off just for general purpose, let's say we're at an hour 50 right now, because we just hit the 2-hour mark. How do they come up with that time? If you could ask that to Dovetail, since you're in good with the big wigs now. I'd just be curious to see how they come up with that, if they can say. All right, 6.8 miles to Rockwood as the train flies. So let's see. Let's take a look at our stop point. So we're stopping there. So last time, yeah, it was like the red light was up farther, so we had a bit of a cushion. So now it's back to normal. So I don't know what happened last time. So, anyways. So yeah, I was just curious to see if they could give us some kind of an insight as to how. I mean, are they considering that's what I'm guessing when they built the timetable, that's what they would, CSX or whoever gave them the information saying, yeah, typically it takes about an hour and a half to do this service. I don't know. I'd be curious to see how they came up with that. So we just had our Salisbury steak. We're on our way for our Rockwood fries. Picked up the Salisbury steak a moment ago. About a minute or so ago, almost 2 minutes ago. I'm in the garden enjoying the sun and Mellow, feeling so good, and Rob for company. Oh, well, cheers, Mick. We're almost there. We will, of course, be ending up as soon as we get to Rockwood, Maine, number 1. Hopefully they've got the fries ready for us. Hopefully they're not started just yet because we don't want them to be cold. Cold fries, ugh, yuck. I've tried them before, they're not good. Leftover, you know, like, there was one time during one of the semesters I had gotten Wendy's for lunch, and I didn't want to eat in front of everybody, but the instructor was very adamant that I turn on my camera, so I had to wait an hour. By the time we got done, the fries were cold, and I was like, ugh. Wasn't very tasty. I think we started the service at 12:30, so yeah. So it's 2:30 in the game now, almost. Yeah, just that. Hopefully by the time Joe streams his farm again, I'd have made more progress. I've got plans to make it better and better each time. Nice, Pillars. Oh, hopefully so. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. What? I'm guessing you're talking about tonight or later today sometime. I don't know. He's like on a streaming, like he's like a streaming machine right now. It's like every couple hours he's got something going on. He's gonna burn himself out. A little bit of speeding. Not like somebody else. Apart from going to the fridge today. Oh man. Oh boy, that's a good one. I like that. So for those of you who haven't been listening, and I've been talking about it briefly a little while ago, so there are pictures up from the excursion yesterday on when we went to the old steam roundhouse. We didn't the round table, basically, you know, is still the structure. From what I understand, is still kind of there, but we didn't venture outside of, you know, going out of the front of the old roundhouse, mainly because there was a lot of Norfolk Southern action in their yard right near where we were. So if we had kind of shown ourselves, we probably would have been escorted off the property. He streamed so bloody early. Yeah, he's not streaming the farm today, thank God. There's nothing ready for him to do. Oh. Yeah. So the pictures are up on my Flickr. The link is in my About Me section. So if you want to go check those out, please do so. I still got to get some stuff over to Redbubble some stuff from Bonaventure Cemetery. Not that I know cemetery stuff, not everybody, that's just kind of like super creepy, but it's going to be some really, I think, some cool stuff. So you check that out. I'm going to try to get that done before the end of the week. We go with my old school friends. Nice. Mellow. Nice. Alright. Making our way to Rockwood, Maine, number 1. About 4 miles to go. I agree, Rob. He will burn himself out just so much on. And he is looking sleepy lately. Yeah. Yeah. Even, you know, I know he takes those little breaks in the garden, but yeah, like, you know, he's doing a lot. I decided to miss his first stream on purpose. I need my rest. Oh, you talking about the one that started at 6:20 this morning, the bus? Yeah. I saw that and I was like, oh, I'm not gonna. Hardly anybody's gonna come into mine now if he's streaming. He started like 10 minutes before me, so. But, you know, it is what it is. You know, like I said, I don't expect that you know, I know you guys, a lot of you are going to watch him kind of at the same time, so you learn something new every day. And Bella has actually real life friends, not just a bunch of nutters. Yeah. Yeah, it's but, you know, I don't expect, you know, I know you guys are going to watch him while you watch me, and I do appreciate that. I'm not trying to, you know, I don't think I'm stealing anybody's audience or whatever. You know, certainly I'm not getting enough people in that would have a huge impact on his streaming. So, you know. I'm coming up on a 45 mile an hour speed limit change. But because this train's still about a mile long. Oops. I think 9/10 of a mile, because the two locomotives at the tail end made up the mile. So, yeah. We'll be getting closer to Rockwood, Maine by the time our last car passes that 45 mile an hour speed limit. Yeah, I'm just going to try to do my thing. I'm not trying to step on anybody's toes or whatever, you know. It goes 45 down to 40. Watch, it'll be like 30, 35, or 30 or 25 here in a moment. Past that 40. Oh, yes, but we stream when we can at the end of the day. Yeah, I mean, I was debating on whether or not to even just stream later, but, you know, I figured Sandpatch is long enough, it takes long enough that he's going to do his thing, and then some people may pop over here afterwards or in between or whatever, you know. I don't know. You know, I can't ask people to forego their you know, their who they want to watch, or whatever. So, because it's either, I was thinking it's either I forego the 6:30 and wait, or, you know, at some point I just start doing the streams even earlier. But then, you know, Amela wouldn't be here; she'd still be asleep, and so yeah, I don't know. I just try to do what I can, and that's all I can do. People will come and go as they please during the stream, and ooh, a Sandpatch stream. Awkward with the time zone. Yeah, it is. Yeah. So, yeah, I only did it today because I wanted to bring, since the Union Pacific AC4400 is a layer that you get on Sandpatch because of the AC4400 already. And you don't have to do a scenario design. You can just go right into the timetables and pick a service. So I just figured it'd be fun to kind of do like it was a loaner from Union Pacific was here to help out CSX kind of thing, or whatever. I don't know if that would really happen in real life, but you know, that's the story and I'm sticking to it. So yeah, but we can't. The funny thing is that the opposite doesn't happen on King Creek. We don't get the CSX unless you design a service on there with the editor. So yeah, I just figured this would be a fun thing to do. Eventually I'll do like a scenario design with the CSX AC4400 on King Creek. You know, I think it'd be a fun thing to do. I'm just going to keep coasting here because we're coming into our destination here. Right there. Only a small buffer between our stop point and that red. So I'm going to have to be very careful coming in. Of course, we're going to be going slightly downhill when we come into Rockwood, Main #1, as always. So we have to be, we're going to kind of get on the brakes a little bit as we get closer. And we're just going to have to kind of creep in so that way we don't spat at the end. No, just I'm only doing one a day, Pithers. There's been times where I may do a surprise stream, but I'm only planning on one a day. Part of it's because you know, I think that's enough for me, because it does take a lot of time to do it. I try to make it entertaining and stuff, but I think one is sufficient. I don't want to burn myself out either. I was thinking about going back to 2 routes in the morning, 2 routes in the evening kind of thing, but I think that's just a lot to go through. So yeah, because I was going to go like American route Monday, UK Tuesday, German route Wednesday, Thursday, and then like France, Canada Friday, and then Sandpatch would have been, you know, or freight would have been like Saturday or something like that, because they, you know, the 3 major American freight routes that we have do take a bit of time to do, and it's, you know, it's hard to keep people's attention, I think, during that time. So yeah. You know, especially if I'm not from those areas, so I can't really talk about the history or anything. I would have to do some research on that as well. So yeah. But no, I'm just sticking with one stream for the time being, because then it also gives me time to watch other streamers, or, you know, do my own thing, you know, elsewhere. So yeah. All right, we are almost there. Okay. Let's start getting a little bit on the brakes here. To relax and to moan about. No, I do like your streams, Mick. You know, you guys try to keep it light and funny, and even though sometimes it's not always the, you know, that one game you and Pulse were playing, the I can't remember the name of it, but that was a pretty heavy game. A lot of emotion there. So, no, I enjoy coming in and hanging out, because, to be frank, you know, you're not getting the same sort of audience that is in Richard or Joe's stream, and that's what I appreciate. there's not the silly questions. When's this coming out? What about this? So, avoid all that. So, all right, let's really get on the brakes here, so we can kind of crawl into Rockwood, Maine #1, because our destination is fast approaching here. And yes, the red light is just past our stop point. Oh, we get that accordion effect going on now. This is going to be really iffy right now, because we had that brake problem when we stopped at Vance. See, look at how quickly it starts to speed back up. This is going to be... I'd like to get stopped right on the button here, but of course... Oops, no, not that. No, not the throttle. You knucklehead. What are you trying to do? Give me a heart attack? Can't wait for Flight Sim to hit the store. I've already got it pre-ordered, so once it's released, it should just download. Okay, come on. Come on. Just a little bit more forward there. To full service. Ah, thank God. Ha! Yeah, I know, man. Ooh. That was a doozy. All right, 2 hours, 12 minutes to do the service. 50.44, almost 51 miles, but we'll round it down to 50 miles. I did walk 1.9 miles to get the two SD40s at the tail end to let go. FarmCon starts at 2 this afternoon on Giant Switch page. Okay. All right, real quick before we disappear for the stream, real fast. Oh, thank you, Mick. Yeah, I hate stopping at Rockwood, Maine #1, because there's always that red light right there. So tomorrow, Cane Creek, we are going to do this scenario, Bobe to Brindle. You're running the dirt train. The train handles the removal operation, so that's what we're going to do tomorrow. It says about 80 minutes. I think that's about right. Maybe a little bit over 80 minutes to do, but we're going to do that service. I did this one off stream. We lost some points, I think, along the way somehow. So we end up with the silver on that one, but we're going to shoot for the gold tomorrow on LDP46 Part 2, Bobe to Brindle. So that's the plan for tomorrow. Oh, and now Glenn comes in just as I'm about to end. Well, hello, Glenn. Hope you're having a good day. And, yeah. Anyway, that's going to be it for today. Thanks all for coming in. I will see you tomorrow on Cane Creek.